one of the things that's like just a really tangible piece of advice I give to everyone is if you want to grow, start doing video. Video is by far the biggest thing, right? And video in the way of showing off what you're doing with your clients, and learn how to do video correctly, because just posting a video isn't going to help you grow.
Salon owners are some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. The only problem is sometimes their hearts are so big and they give so much of themselves to their staff and guests that it creates unintended consequences. Our goal is to change the industry by elevating the way the rest of the world sees salons, spas, and barbershops and give it the credibility that it truly deserves. This is the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jason Everett, Doug Campbell, Sean, and our guest today is Jamie Dana. Jamie and I, so by the way, we're out here at ISSE. We're doing tons of podcasts, and Jamie and I met. What event was it at? Was it
I think it was the digital
San Jose?
I think we met at something, San Jose, and then we were at the Digital Salon Summit.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
Digital.
LA
So
a year ago.
Yeah.
So I snuck into your classroom.
Yeah.
You were teaching on Instagram, which, by the way, is like everybody's hot topic. Everyone wants to know, because if you're not on Instagram with your salon, like you're in the Stone Ages, you're Fred Flintstone, and you need to fix your problem.
Right.
So you have an incredible course about Instagram called
Oh Hot Gram.
Oh Hot Gram.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Hot Gram. Is there a song that goes with it too,
I mean, it kind of goes with the Oh Hot Gram.
Right, that's why I was like, tell me you made your own
right?
song.
So actually my husband came up with that name.
I like
and
it.
I was like, all right, let's
He's a
roll
nice
with
dude.
it. Yeah.
He's hanging out around here.
Keep him around.
So you have this amazing program called Oh Hot Gram that teaches people how to use Instagram and to be able to grow their own personal following, book their clients, do all this stuff. It's a really cool course. If you get a chance to check it out, they can go find it at where? Do they go find it?
Just ohhotgram.com.
ohhotgram.com.
Yeah.
Super easy. So today, though, we're going to be talking about, as you know, Jamie, we work a lot with commissioned salon owners, and one of the biggest challenges for commissioned salon owners is they have this challenge. They got 20 staff members, they have 30 staff members, 100 staff members, and they need everybody to contribute to the salon's content. What I want to do today is have you come in and be like the expert pro.
Perfect.
And give us some knowledge. Now, Sean works in a salon. He's also one of our trainers, but he's a stylist in a salon. And part of the team with Doug's Salon. So it'll be good because Doug is from a salon owner perspective, Sean from a stylist perspective, you as the Instagram, social media ninja, party animal perspective.
Yes, I like that. Okay.
And they can go check out your Instagram at Jamie Dana, right?
At Jamie Dana Hairstylist, actually. If they go
Yeah.
to Jamie Dana, it's just my personal page. I don't
Not as
ever
exciting.
post on it. Nothing's
Just
fun.
pictures of cats.
It's actually dogs, but close enough. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Instagram today. So if you're excited and you've been trying to figure out how do I get better at Instagram as a salon owner, this is the show. So let's dive into it. So
Let's do it.
I know there's a lot of things people are either listening to this on audio or maybe watching the video, and we're not going to be building Instagram posts. But I'd love to know what are some of the things as you look at the perspective of a stylist in relationship to the owner? How do you see that unfold in a way that's powerful for stylists and powerful for salon owners at the same time? Or what mistakes?
Yeah. So I think so often when we look at Instagram, we either look at it one perspective or another, right? We look at from the individual stylist, or we look at it from only the salon owner. And I think sometimes there's this disconnect where the stylist is like, well, I'm posting my stuff on Instagram and I want to grow. And then the salon owner's like, well, you shouldn't.
Followers.
Yeah, and I want 1 million followers and whatnot. And then the salon owner's like, well, I just want to build my salon business. And it's like, how do we bring those two together? And really bridge that gap, because I truly think that a stylist and salon owner can come together and build it as a team and support each other.
Totally agree.
It doesn't have to be one or the other. And I think that's a conversation that needs to be had, because I think so often, like I said, it can feel really disconnected of one or the other, and it doesn't have to be.
I think it used to be, I used to work in advertising, and what used to happen is, as if I worked in radio advertising, and people would come in and they would say, hey, I want to be on the radio, and the salon owner was responsible for buying radio, TV, all these other commercials.
Right.
But then when Instagram came out, salon owners kind of gave up. They're like, the Instagram, that's for those kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that.
I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to learn that.
So they're like, I'm going to get my front desk to do it. I'm going to get my stylist to do it. And so they kind of gave up the ability to control the flow of clients into their business, which I think was dangerous.
Right.
And I think there's some good ways that they can work together to build the salon and build their own personal following. So what are some philosophies you have on that?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things when I talk to salon owners and it comes to Instagram is so often they don't have control over it. Maybe they have a company managing it, like a social media management
paying
company,
$200 a month or
which
something.
is so expensive. And I'm like, don't do that. If you can have somebody from your team, great, but like make sure that you're communicating what your brand message is. What's the overall message of the salon? Like what kind of clients do you want to attract, right? And like at the same time, like as a salon, you have a kind of clientele that you want to get. You have a type of services that you want to bring in. And so what are we sharing on Instagram that also exudes that? And so I think so often salon owners are like, well, my stylists do all kinds of clients and I can't limit it from that. And I'm like, no, like your stylists can promote themselves. And let's say that maybe your salon specializes in blonde, long hair, balayage, let's just say. And you might have stylists that do rainbow unicorn hair and you're like, that is not my brand as a salon, right? That's fine. You don't, as a salon owner, have to put the rainbow unicorn pixie haircuts on your page. You can show off the blonde balayage long hair that you want to show off that fits your brand, and then also share, your stylist, like maybe if they do like a unicorn or something, you could share it in your stories or something, but allow your stylist to share that on their page.
They can be specialized inside the salon.
Yeah,
totally. And like maybe they do the long hair balayage, but they want to get more unicorn clients because that's something they love and it excites them and they're creative with it.
Sure.
Encourage them and empower them in that and allow them to do that. And not, when I say allow, it's not like there needs to be this like controlling type thing, but I think a lot of salon owners
give them the space to collaborate better.
Yeah.
I think a better collaboration, because from my perspective as a salon owner, is having that ability to, this is what we want to be as a salon, this is what we want our image to be, but then I think it's very valuable to have these specialized people, because I mean that's what we know. There's certain ones they love one aspect. So why discourage that? And encourage it.
And when a client calls in and they're like, I want bright pink hair, you're like, hey,
Jenny's
my girl, right? She's the girl that does that. Or we've got a couple of different girls. Check out their Instagram. And as a salon owner, you can now, empower your stylist and share that with the clients. Because as a client calls in, they want to see the work.
And that's so much easier than trying to do it verbally over the phone. Say, hey, check out her Instagram. Then you'll know, because who does curly hair great? Well, Angie does great curly hair. Check out her Instagram.
You can see what she specializes in.
Totally.
Doug, what do you want to know? Because I know this is like a hot topic. Like, your salon's always working on being better at things like this. What do you want to know about this stuff for Instagram?
I'd say one thing that we struggle with, I'll say, is the content. So because I think it's got to be more than just hair all day long.
Head.
You get there's only so many angles you can shoot. But I think so. Tell me about putting in variety of content that tells more of who you are from an entertaining standpoint, from a comedy standpoint, from a lifestyle standpoint. What things have you seen that works?
So I think again, getting clear from the salon perspective, or as an individual stylist, whoever's listening to this, who is the person that you're talking to? And I call this my dream client, right? Sometimes people call it ideal client avatar, or whatever.
We call avatar all the time in our program.
Perfect. So I call it dream client. So who is that dream client? What are the things that they want to see? Maybe it's more educational posts, teaching them how to curl their hair, how to style their hair, what kind of products they need to use. Educational things as the difference between a balayage and a highlight or whatever.
And letting them know this is what this is versus this is what that is.
And clients love that kind of educational stuff. They also want to see behind the scenes. So they don't want to just see hair photo after hair photo after hair photo. From either a stylist or a salon's perspective, they want to see, what does the salon look like? What's my client experience going to be when I walk in the door? What am I going to get to experience? Who do the stylists? Who are they? What do they look like? So they want to see that behind the scenes stuff. So videos are super helpful. Even just like on your Instagram stories, showing a little bit more of like inside the salon, seeing who the stylists are. And I've always encouraged salon owners to do like little interviews with their stylists, and it encourages them, right? Because now you're showcasing your different stylists. The clients are getting to know who you have working at your salon, but it also is a little bit uncomfortable sometimes for the stylist. And
not
so you're
everybody's comfortable on camera.
Right, and you're pushing them outside of their comfort zone to maybe get on an Instagram story or have them do a takeover. There's lots of different ways that you can do that, but it's empowering your stylist at the same time and giving them a little bit more of that platform and showcasing them. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one thing that we have found that's worked well is whenever we go to New York for education or do stuff in Vegas, taking a lot of that and posting it. Our clients can be really excited about.
They love it.
The lifestyle pieces.
The behind the scenes. Because again, if it's just hair after hair after hair, that's great. but sometimes they want to see more. They want to know a little bit more of what the personality behind the salon or even the individual stylist.
There's a bar in Chicago that's a ping pong bar.
Okay.
I actually have heard of this.
There it goes. Instead of a pool hall, it's ping pong. It's the most awesome thing in the world. The worst thing about ping pong is you have to pick up the balls, right?
Right.
Well, they've got people going around picking up your balls. There's a big vat right next to it.
Oh my gosh, sounds like a dream bar to me.
Thing about it is we went in there and had a really good time and got a lot of good pictures. But then I think building that personality, that they see you as a real person, in your community, your company as a real person or real people, builds excitement to it. So.
And actually, to this point, one of the brands that I've seen have done a great job with this in the salon industry is Framar. You guys might have heard of them. They have the color brushes and the foils and whatever. But they have started this series on their Instagram page. They started it in their stories, and now they brought it to their page where they show kind of like a skit type of thing. And they have this character called Professor Rob, and it's actually one of their brother-in-laws that works there. And so they just do these like little skit things, but it shows the warehouse, it shows the behind the scenes, it shows one of the brothers who's involved in the company, and it shows just little bits of pieces, that personality behind the brand. And I'm like, wow, people can connect with that. And then when they come to something like a show or they see them on Instagram, they feel like they know the brand and there's that face to it versus it just being like our salon.
Well, it goes back to the back of somebody's head, right? Is like how many back of somebody's heads before you go, here's Stephanie, she loves this, like all those things.
Totally.
You mentioned that, I want to plug it real quick because we did a project together we're working on right now called 30-Day Influencer Challenge, right? About building camera confidence and helping people get there, because I think so many salons have stylists that are like, I don't ever want to take a picture of me. I'll just take a picture of my client.
Yeah.
I don't
want to get on stories or radio. Don't.
And I think that there's two things. One is, not everybody wants to be an influencer. You don't have to be an influencer to still have a really good following. And I think it's important to know that you don't have to have 1 million followers, still have lots of guests and a very full clientele. Right. But I want to take that chance to talk about Sean. Dude, Sean is a stylist and he's also a Redken artist. And so, advice for artists and stylists trying to build their brand on their Instagram. What questions do you have, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I deal with myself, and I know a lot of the stylists that I coach as well when it comes to social media, is I think we talked a little bit okay, what content do I put? Because a lot of people get in the habit of just putting hair pictures, but as far as growing a following, because I've had people well, I've tried this and I've tried this and I've tried this, and the following just isn't growing. So just some hot tips on. What are some hot tips on how to kind of start to grow? Actually start getting people to follow your page and just grow that following. Obviously not overnight, but what are some hot tips as far as post or ways to engage people in a way where they actually will go and follow your page?
Yeah, so it's interesting. As Instagram has grown and as more hairstylists and more people are getting into independent education or salons are out there, obviously it is saturated and it is a lot harder to grow than it ever used to be. So I kind of go off the thing of what are your goals with your Instagram? If your goals are just to build a clientele or just to grow your salon, you don't need 1 million followers. You don't even need 1,000 followers. I have so many students who are successful with 200-300 followers and they're booked out for months, right? Yeah. But if your goal is to grow and maybe become more into education or whatever the case might be, you're going to want to grow that, because the more people that you're able to impact on your Instagram, you can impact and actually share with them. So one of the things that's just a really tangible piece of advice I give to everyone is if you want to grow, start doing video. Video is by far the biggest thing, right? And video in the way of showing off what you're doing with your clients, and learn how to do video correctly, because just posting a video isn't going to help you grow. You have to understand the formula to learning how to edit the video and make it quick and make it stand out and have those thumbnails and the things that are going to make people that are going to go viral really hit the Explore page, all of that stuff. That's where I have noticed a big jump in my numbers, a big jump in my following.
Is the video interaction versus just hair posts.
So it's really understanding how to do the video.
And when we say video, because again, there's a lot of different videos you could do, right? You could do a talking head video, here's me explaining something. You could do tutorials.
Those typically don't do as well.
Right. It's look at me. But what are some other videos besides maybe a tutorial, which might be an obvious one, but what are some other videos that people are a little more uncommon, but they get some good reach for people?
Yeah, so quick videos. Now with IGTV, doing a little bit longer of a tutorial is okay. People are getting used to it on Instagram.
When we say longer,
but
I mean, not 20-minute
2 to 3 minute.
No.
I do YouTube, so I'm a big video person, but my YouTube videos are not meant for Instagram. Even though I can put them on IGTV, no one's gonna watch it. They're not there on that platform for that reason.
It's not what it's meant for.
I definitely recommend 30 or under, 30 seconds or under. So quick videos where you're showing something kind of interesting or capturing people's attention and then just moving through the pace really fast. And when you go back and watch your video as you're editing it, if there's a point where you get bored or you want to click away or you want to like fast forward, then it's too long. It's too long. So cut it down.
Sure.
And I think so often when we're creating videos, we think, oh no, like I didn't get all that in, or I wanted to show more. I want to show the whole head. Just show one section. Show the beginning, show one section, you do the technique, and then move on. And that's one of the things where it's like if you can make it really fast and actionable.
Can you leave that card, please? Just that card. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can take one of those. Totally fine. Sorry, just walking off with the game. It's all good. Thank you, though. That's okay. We're hanging out here live, so people are popping by.
I love it.
Just walking off with our game. I like it.
And that's what I've heard from people too. Is like, you know, with the Instagram, if you're posting a video, you got the 1 minute limit, and they're like, well, how do I get everything I want to say in 1 minute? Like, I gotta cut the crap out of it to get it all down in there. It's like.
It's an art form. You gotta learn how to do it.
And you don't have to say everything in one video.
Right.
I mean, think about it as chop it down.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things I think that attracts me to most of them is when someone's being authentic, when they're doing what they're good at.
Yes.
So often people try to do what they're not good at. So it's like, I'm super uncomfortable. It's like, because you're not good at that.
Right.
Totally.
Do what you're comfortable with and it'll become natural.
Yeah. And again, to your point of like, I want to become an independent educator, I want to grow my education. What is the thing that you want to be known for in education, right?
Yeah, like so pick that, right?
Pick that. Like you mentioned somebody in your salon who's amazing at curly hair. Whoa, that is such a niche. Get really amazing at teaching. I don't know anything about curly hair. Like, I wish I knew more, right? So like, I would go to a page like that to learn from. And even if it's just a quick tip of how to diffuse the hair and the angle you do, I don't know, right?
Someone gets that
how to apply product,
right?
All of those little things that like, I think when it's an education standpoint, what are the things that you think are natural to you or things that just like, oh yeah, I totally know how to do that.
Yeah.
Most people don't. So make a video about it and you'll start to learn as you get good with your content. Oh, that video didn't do very well. Okay, people aren't as interested in that. But man, that video, which I thought wasn't going to do very well, like blew up, right?
Totally.
So video is huge. Instagram loves it. The algorithm really loves it. And I could go into a whole thing about that. But basically, video is going to be the way to go if you really want to grow your following and just get more eyes and create that connection with people.
Right.
You know?
Totally.
Totally. What else do you want to know, Sean? I mean, this is good, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing that most, I know, stylists that I talk to struggle with is really doing the video part of it. And, you know, even as an educator for myself, you know, really branding yourself as an educator, like you said, like what's your specialty, and you know, what are some things like, let's say, for example, let's say your specialty as an educator would be like more business type things, right? So, like, how do you know, different ideas on like how could I do a business video that people be interested in 30 seconds or less. You know what I mean? Like really branding and kind of creating that content.
So one of the things that I've always struggled with has been like, okay, what are the topics that I'm going to talk about, right? Because there's so many things that I could talk about, and how do I pick which ones? Or sometimes I have no idea. I'm like, I don't have any ideas for a video content or a post or anything. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And one of the things that I always go back to is I just ask my audience. I'm like, hey, or if you don't necessarily have a big audience, like obviously asking your audience, the little question box on Instagram stories is my best friend because I can pop that up there and I get a lot of great content ideas. I would do a post, ask that. That's going to create more engagement on my page. It's also going to give me content ideas. But let's say you don't necessarily have a big audience yet. Go to 1 to 5 different people who are your dream client or your client avatar, right? Go to those 5 people and say, hey, can I ask you just a quick couple questions? Like, what are the things you struggle with? What are the things that you need help with? And then, bam, now you're going to have all these like video ideas or even just content ideas. Maybe it's, I struggle with, you know, diffusing hair with curly hair, if we're going with that example, right? So there's a video, there's a post, you could talk about the products, you could literally like list out so many different things. And so that's a really great way to get content ideas.
Totally.
And like he said, you don't have to necessarily fit it all in one video, break it down, and now instead of 1 video, you have 4 videos.
You leave them wanting more.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I love that too. I love that you bring that up because, you know, we hit so hard on consultations and really doing incredible consultations and building that relationship with a client. And now it takes it, you know, to a whole other level. It's like not only should you be doing a consultation to really figure out what the client's needing in that chair, but now on the other side, since social's so big now, is like really paying attention to why you're doing consultations. Really take note, like what are your clients saying? Write those down as ideas for content for your social. So I love that.
Any other questions you got, Doug, on a salon owner perspective on, like, again, collaborating with your stylist to create content or ways to monetize it as a salon owner?
I think the thing is to get the collaboration aspect of it.
Yeah.
Getting both of them to, like you just said that a while ago about asking your
audience.
Your audience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we talk about when we're consulting salon owners is they're like, I can just figure it out. It's like, ask your leadership team.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think
what the staff
yeah.
needs.
So I mean that's one of the
Totally.
things that we've found is that when we do that, it tends to bring more energy in. So do you see? Have you got any good examples of where you've seen a salon and a stylist group get together and really up their game together, where everyone's happy?
Yeah, it's
so.
actually interesting you bring that up, and this is an example that I've used when salon owners are like, I can't be successful on Instagram, or I can't collaborate with my stylist.
Right.
And one of the salons that has done it so well is David and Alexis Thurston from Butterfly Loft Salon.
Nice.
They're here
Love
in
it.
LA.
Cool.
They're an insanely huge salon. I think they have 80 stylists that work there.
There you go.
Just a few people.
Just a few, and they have salon suites as well as
they're hybrid.
chair rental,
Awesome.
and I believe they also do commission as well. So they have like the gamut, which is really cool because that's unusual in a salon environment. So,
Right.
And in
anyways,
California.
yeah,
especially in
and
California.
in California. Yeah, I'm
Another
not
podcast.
exactly 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's
all right.
their model. But anyways, they have done it from the beginning of when Instagram got big. And basically, I've talked to David over the years about this, and basically he kind of said, like, yeah, we want to encourage our stylists to share their work, and we empower them by resharing it, but there was stipulations with that. He said we would
Right.
only share things that had good lighting, would fit the brand.
Right.
We're not going to share things like, or if the stylist wasn't putting effort into their Instagram, he's like, you know what? Like, we weren't necessarily going to show that off because we want them to put effort into it too, right?
Yeah, totally.
And
Love that.
if we're going to share them, we want them to also be like, I'm excited about this. And you're going to have those stylists that like don't really care about Instagram and they don't want to be featured. And like, okay, if they're growing their business in a different way, I guess, like, what are you going to do? But
Totally.
especially if you're at a commission type of salon, then that might need to be a conversation that you have, like, hey, as our salon, this is something that we're doing together, and that's just a conversation, of course, right?
Totally
But
get it.
One of the things I've always found out that works well, especially in a commission-based salon, is when there's some people that don't want to play the game, but when they see other people start playing the game, it starts really paying off. They're like, now, wait, what are y'all doing again?
Yeah. Wait, what hashtag should we use? Right?
What do I do?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
I
I think that's the best encouragement is
Totally.
to get, when other people start doing it, collaborate with the ones that want to collaborate. And
Right, and encouraging those who are, right? You're like, oh
Right.
my gosh, Jenny just did this amazing baller. She took these great photos, like in your team meetings, like feature that, like
Yeah.
encourage
Totally.
that and be like, wow, like thanks Jenny for creating such great content for the salon. So-and-so did a takeover this month, whatever,
and
right?
how many hits they got on a
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Right. Look at
In a
that.
team meeting,
Yeah.
celebrate that progress. And
Yeah.
I think I love that last tip because I think, just being able to say, like, create a standard for what you want on your Instagram as a salon owner. Support and encourage your staff to create their own content, be
Right.
independent with their content, but then aggregate it and connect it
Right.
through the main salon channel. And I love what you said. Take what your salon audience needs to be, and then you can have specialties in that. It's probably the cleanest way I've ever heard somebody explain that. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For just, just as you went through it, like, it's
Yeah.
just really, I love that idea because it's not this, like, you can't post on your own or you can't post.
Right.
It's just,
Right.
look, how do we all get along? But it's like, how do we
Yeah.
get along in a way that's beneficial for everyone?
Right.
And it's not really about, like, boosting your post to get 1 million followers and all this stuff. It's like,
Right.
how do you just run it in a way that's beneficial for everybody involved?
Yeah,
So
totally.
I just want to say, Jamie
People
Dana.
do that to me all the time. It's cool.
It's part of it.
It's all good.
First names,
It's all
second
good.
apartments, but
It's all good.
Jamie Dana, which I will say both.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's how it's supposed to happen.
Uh-huh.
I really, really appreciate it. We're gonna have to have you on again and talk more about this stuff because I think your information is awesome. Again, I know OHOT Graham is OHOT amazing, and I'm just
Thank
super
you.
stoked for you for the success that you've had and what you've done. So if you guys have not had a chance to go on and check that out, please do also check out Jamie Dana Hairstylist on Instagram, and you can get more information. Jamie, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, you guys. I love these kind of roundtable conversations.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
they're so helpful, and just that's my passion for the industry, is being able to elevate the industry through things like Instagram.
There you go.
So,
Totally.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Evo Revo podcast. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes at evorevopodcast.com.